Hey guys, so I am back and it's review roundup time, and the next victim up is the Jaclyn Hill and Becca collaboration. This is Champagne Pop. It is the Shimmering Skin Perfector from Becca and it is limited edition. It is a collaboration, like I said, with Jaclyn Hill here on YouTube. And if you haven't checked her out, definitely check her out. I think she is fun and she does great videos, so definitely check her out if you haven't already. Be mindful though that she is kind of an acquired taste because she is very bubbly and like, oh my god, so be mindful of that, but she does have some pretty decent videos, so definitely check her out. So for those of you who maybe been under a rock for the last month or so, you wouldn't know, but everybody else knows that Becca and Jaclyn Hill collaborated on her own personalized shade of Shimmering Skin Perfector, and it is in the shade Champagne Pop, and everybody and their mother has been going wild. It is exclusive at Sephora. She's done meetups, she's done meet and greets, she's signed so many things. She has really went all out with this collaboration with Becca, or I should say Becca has gone all out, because it has been really popular. It's flying off the shelves. It's sold out everywhere. There's even like a Champagne Pop sighting thing that Becca has going on where they're tracking where Champagne Pop can be found. So almost everybody and their mother has this shade right now, and I'm going to go into the review to see if it's something that you might want to check out. So the cost of this is still the same as any of Becca's Shimmering Skin Perfectors, the pressed version. These are $38. They didn't give a special limited edition pricing. It is still the same price as all the Shimmering Skin Perfectors, and it does contain 8 grams of product, which is a pretty decent amount, especially for a highlighter where you're not going to use like tons of it, and it's going to last you a pretty long time. So I think the price is a little bit steep because you can get highlighters in the $25 range. So this one is kind of pricey, but I kind of expect that from Becca with where it lines up in the string of brands. You know, it is kind of semi-high-end, like a mid-end, high-end range. So $38, while it may be a splurge, it really is going to last you a whole lifetime, because there is no way you're going to run out of this unless you're like a highlighter, Twilight, vampire, shiny junkie. Then I think it's definitely a good price point. As for the packaging, it does come with a limited edition kind of special box where Jaclyn Hill does have her signature here, and the box itself is like a rose gold shade, and on the back it does have her picture and a little spiel about what she was thinking about when she created this color itself. So if you are a Jaclyn Hill fan, that is definitely a collector's item for you. But the actual packaging itself for the Shimmering Skin Perfector, the highlighter, is the typical Becca kind of flying saucer design. It is a dark brown rubberized package with a bit of a silver cap on the top. I don't know that this is so special, but that's their signature packaging. All their packaging has kind of the same design. It doesn't hold fingerprints from what, I mean, it does get a little dusty and dirty as you touch it because of the rubberized finish, but it doesn't hold fingerprints as bad as like the NARS rubberized packaging. So I really like the packaging of the Shimmering Skin Perfectors. It does have a tab closure, so it does clip close, and it does have a mirror also in the lid that you can use, and inside you have the wonderful highlight, and there's also a little protective sheet inside the palette that has her signature as well, so you might want to keep that, and it does fit right over the product, so you can kind of keep that mirror clean for use. So I think overall this is great packaging, but I should mention that the Shimmering Skin Perfectors from Becca are very fragile, so if you drop them they will smash. If you knock them off your counter, they will smash. They're not the best to travel with because they will smash, and I have smashed 2 of mine already. There are various videos on how to fix them. They are a creamy kind of soft product, so you can press them back into the pan. They won't quite be the same again, but this is limited edition, so it's going to be hard to get a replacement, so you'll have to go and press it. So be very careful with this as you're handling it. It smashes very easily. So let's just jump into the product information. The shade Champagne Pop is described as a soft white gold with pinky peach undertones, and it says here Becca collaborated with YouTube beauty celebrity and makeup artist Jaclyn Hill to create a new limited edition shade of their #1 best-selling luminizer powder. Featuring her dream shade Champagne Pop, a soft white gold shade with pinky peach undertones, this creamy luminizer leaves the skin with a soft pearlized glow. It's infused with light reflecting pearls that beautifully catch the light, allowing your favorite features to pop. Just apply to targeted areas or simply sweep it up on the cheekbones and down the bridge of the nose for quick, radiant perfection. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual shade itself. It is a very pale champagne gold shade with some peach undertones. So when you look at it, you can actually see the peachy orangey undertones to it, but you can tell that it has a strong champagne gold base to it. And I guess let's address this. A lot of people have been complaining that this shade is not a universal shade, and it can't be. A lot of people think that there's just one shade out there that's going to be universal and it's going to suit every single skin tone. That is quite impossible, especially when you have such a variety of skin tones. Think about it. You have an extremely vast range of skin tones, from extremely pale, almost white skin, like pure white skin. That's how pale you can get, like that porcelain ivory skin tone, to very deep ebony skin. And for one shade of highlighter to cover the entire spectrum is asking for quite a lot. And to be honest, I think that Jaclyn Hill created her perfect color to suit her skin tone, her family members, and her friends. And she's mostly around very pale, light skin beauties, and that's what she created this color for. And you have to be very mindful of that when you criticize someone for doing something that you couldn't do yourself. Like, you're gonna be like, oh, she should have created a universal shade that matches everybody. I bet you couldn't do it. I bet you. I'll bet you $100,000 that you couldn't do it. I thought so. So back off. I'm not like defending her or anything, but I would defend anybody like this. There's no way to make one universal shade that's gonna suit every single person. This shade in particular, I think suits kind of medium light skin tone. Like, that is where I would stop, like medium light, like light to medium. I think very, very pale skin will find this a little bit too intense or too deep to be a true highlighter for them, but it will definitely make a nice glowy like blush topper. It will still give them a nice glow to their skin, but it's not gonna be like a true highlighter on them. But light to medium light skin tones will definitely appreciate this. It will be very beautiful on them. But deeper, like even medium deep skin tones, I can see this being very troublesome. Darker skin, I can see this being very troublesome. Personally, on me, I don't like this shade. And what I find is that it really boils down to personal preference. I personally don't think this is a highly flattering shade on my skin tone, but that's because of my personal preference. Becca's pressed Shimmering Skin Perfectors are very shimmery. They're high shine. They're very pearlized. They're very shimmery. And I find I have to use a very light hand with these. And as light as I want to try to be with this particular shade, somehow I still get too much intensity. And I am going to apply this to my skin to show you what I mean. I did end up applying it very heavily on one side. No fault of mine. Yes, that was my fault. I did apply it too intensely because I wasn't anticipating it. And then I went ahead and tried to do a very light layer on the other side of my face. And I am using my Suku cheek brush, which is a very light, airy, one of the softest brushes that I have. So that's going to pick up very little product and apply it lightly, and I still went overboard. So that's to show you that this color can get intense real quick, like 0 to 500 kilowatts real quick. Like, you can shine like the sun. So as you can see, when I'm applying it to my skin, it does give a very shimmery, shiny, silver sheen to my skin. Even though it's like a peachy gold, it still comes off very shimmery and silver on my skin tone. I don't know why that is, and in videos and pictures that I've seen of other people using it, even really pale skin, light medium skin, it still gives this silvery flash. And I think that's the pearlized particles in here. It does give a silvery reflect. So be mindful of that if you're not into silvery like white gold. I guess that's what they mean, white gold sheen, then this might not be your thing. So if you're looking for gold, this is not where it's at. It's a very silvery sheen, and you'll see it emphasizes texture, it emphasizes pores. It's just very intense on my skin. Even on the other side of my face where I tried to go lighter and just apply less product, it still kind of gives that shimmery sheen where it almost looks like glitter on the skin. Even though you won't see glittery chunks at all, it's still a shiny sheen. It's not, it's like a shimmer, it's a glow. It's not glitter at all, but it does look glittery just because of the undertones or the reflex in it. So be mindful of that and use a very light hand. Use a very airy brush, a natural haired brush. This is the best thing you can use, and build it up. So start off slow. Don't dive right in like I did. Just go very slow and build it up to the intensity that you want, and you know, it's just make it work for your skin. Here we have Opal next to Champagne Pop, and as you can see, Opal is more of like a nudie champagne versus Champagne Pop, which is more of a shimmery peachy champagne. For some reason I feel like Opal is a little bit more finely milled, so it doesn't have like those chunky pearlescent sparkles in it. It is easier to blend out and give a nice subtle sheen versus Champagne Pop that somehow has larger particles in it, so it does reflect light a lot more. And here I'll show you them swatched on my cheeks side by side. So you can see that Champagne Pop is a lot more intense. Even though they have similar lightness to them, I find that Opal is a little bit more wearable, and I can make it a little bit more subtle on my skin tone. If you're into shimmer and shine and sheen, and you're trying to glow for the gods to see you from heaven and then come and just beam all kind of light on you, then this is for you. But if you're like me and you have oily skin and sometimes you have a little bit of texture and you're not trying to quite shine like a diamond, then you might want to stay away from this guy, especially if you're deeper skin tones. As far as dark skin tones go, I'm like a medium deep tan. That's how I would describe my skin tone. So there are a lot of girls that are much deeper than me, and I've seen a lot of women wearing this of darker skin tone, women of color, and they have been raving about it and saying they really love it. And for them, like I said, it's a personal preference, so maybe they really truly like it for themselves. I personally think it's a little bit too silvery on darker skin tones. Like, it has a golden undertone, but it can come off silvery because of the pearlescence to it, and it can look ashy. And in photos it probably looks really nice and glowy and glistening, but in person I can see me looking at somebody and be like, where are you going with that silver sheen on your skin? I mean, I get what you're going for if that's what you're going for, glow goddess, but it's just too much. But again, personal preference. I don't like this for me. And you can still use it very lightly, again, as a blush topper, as a very subtle highlight. You can use it on your body. So I don't think it's a total wash. You can use it on the lids also as eyeshadow. You can use it at the high points of your brow bones. You don't only have to use it on your cheeks. So I don't think it's a total wash for me. It's just not, it wouldn't be my go-to highlighter. Like, when I'm trying to do the most, I would probably grab it, but it wouldn't be like something that I'm like, oh, I have to use this every day. So it's up to you what you're into. If you're into high shine, sheen, frost, hey, tinfoil, how are you doing? Then this may be for you. And of course I'm being facetious. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I'm just trying to say it's an intense highlight. I'm not saying people that like it or love it, that something's wrong with them. Like, that's their personal preference and that's what they're into and that's what they like. Shoot, go ahead girl, get your glow on, why not? It's just not for me. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's beautiful when it's done right, if it's what you're into. It is not beautiful for me because I don't want to shine bright. You get what I'm saying? So definitely, you know, be mindful of that. If you are into subtleness, subtlety, if you're into, you know, not so intense highlight, if you are darker skinned, just be mindful that it is very intense, and all their highlighters are very intense. However, I do prefer Opal because I find that I can tone down Opal a lot more than I can tone this down, and that's what I didn't 100% like with this. I couldn't really tone it down. With Opal, I find that I can really tone it down. So if you were going for an intense highlight that you still want to have in your collection, but you want one that you can control, like you could be like, hey, back it off, then Opal would be my go-to. This one is if you're really into intense highlights. So let me know what you guys think. I think she made a great color for her and her friends and family, and that's what I would do. Shoot, y'all would be like all up in my grill talking about how my highlight doesn't suit lighter skin. Well, what do you want me to do? My dark skin is what I know, and she did what she knows. So I applaud her. Congratulations to her, because I know she made a killing, okay? Not to mention Becca made a killing. This was like the ultimate collaboration thus far in the makeup industry with YouTubers. Absolutely applaud you guys, and congratulations again, Jaclyn and Becca. So let me know what you guys think. Again, don't bash Jaclyn Hill for creating something that you guys would have created for your own skin tone. Stop it. Stop it. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh my god, how dare her. But what's the girl gonna do? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.